Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching, whatever time you're listening. Welcome to You're On Your Podcast show. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Michal Kosior.
Michal Kosior.
Michal Kosior.
Just hello.
But can I call you Michael?
Yes, of course.
And Michal is from the International Amber Association.
Yes, I work for Amber Association. I'm the general manager of the office and Amber expert.
Superb. Michael, just give us a brief introduction of what your responsibilities are in that position.
We have amber industry. Amber industry means that people interested in amber, they create forms, jewelry, praying beads, and so on and so on. The Amber Association is to help them, to assist them, promote, contact to each other, and finally to test if the amber is genuine or it's maybe fakes sometimes.
Okay. And how long has the Amber Association been running?
The Amber Association it's for more than 20 years.
Okay.
But the amber industry, we can estimate it's more than 10,000 years.
Oh, really?
Yes. Some historians say that probably amber is the very first decorative stone used by mankind.
Oh, wow.
So before, people used to make axes or knives or something like that, amulets, out of flint stones. But that was something they can use.
Yeah.
And amber is very soft and very fragile. So they make only figurines, amulets, and something like this. What was not a tool, only ornament, only culture, nothing else.
Okay, well, let's go back. With all my guests, I like to go back and find out your history. Have you always been into amber, or how did you, get into this? And where are you from?
I'm from Poland, from Gdańsk. Gdańsk, it's called the capital city of amber. Because of many reasons.
Yeah.
As I told you, archaeologists, they find out that around Gdańsk, more than 7,000 years ago, there were many places people found amber, and made some artifacts out of that. But in last 20-30 years, the Gdańsk become a great place to design jewelry, amber jewelry, and to make it. So probably this is the most busy place in the amber industry worldwide.
I'm just thinking about going back in time. Wasn't Gdansk a major? Was it an industrial town in the past? Because I just remember Gdansk being on the news a lot when you were breaking away from Russia. Am I correct?
Yes.
Wasn't that where?
We had very famous Gdańsk shipyard, famous Lech Walesa, the leader of the Solidarity movement.
Yeah, and it was always from Gdansk.
The same city.
Okay.
So I'm proud to be from that city.
And so is it still a big shipping port?
The shipping industry is changing worldwide. Big shipyards, they had some problems when we changed the system in 1989. But right now we have very specialized shipyards in complicated vessels for oil industry and something like that.
Okay.
So still you can look to the shipyard where ships are built.
And do you see the city changing in recent times? Like you say, it's a place for amber and jewelry. There are more smaller businesses setting up and...
Yes, the big industry, the heavy industry, it's maybe less and less, but we have more and more service, more and more tourists.
Okay.
That place, it's very famous of being a good place to spend the time.
Yeah.
It's on the coast.
Yeah.
Our sea, it's not very hot like any other in the south, but it's nice.
Oh, that's where? Yeah, is it the Baltic Sea?
It's the Baltic Sea.
Yeah, it's the Baltic
But we
Sea.
have also people swimming in the sea during the winter.
I'm sure you do. Look, my mum's from Sweden, so I've spent many summers in the very cold lakes. So I'm sure people will be swimming in the Baltic Sea as well.
Even in winter.
Even in winter, absolutely. So your education, were you into geology, because amber is, kind of a fossil? Were you into that kind of education, or what did you study when you were younger?
I wanted to study geology. It was
Okay.
my hobby.
Yeah.
That time, when I wanted to study this geology, I was not. That was not money in my family. So I wanted to study chemistry, but something has changed, and I studied philosophy for a couple of years.
Okay.
Right now, I have both chemistry and geology at my work.
Okay, so you study philosophy.
Philosophy, yes.
And then when you left, what was your first job?
More than 20 years ago, I started to work for the amber industry, for the jewelry industry.
Oh, really? You went straight into the amber?
Yes. It's quite common in Gdańsk that everybody knows somebody working with amber.
Okay.
And I was invited and created with my friends something like the yellow pages for the jewelers.
Oh, really?
And after a couple of years, after divorce, with my friend, I was invited to join the Amber Association and make it more international.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. So you have that entrepreneur flair, and you brought it into an association, made it more.
Yes, we started as Amber Association in Poland, but right now we have members in more than 30 countries. So it's a great adventure to contact with all of them.
Yeah. So what have you learned since doing that? What have you been surprised at I don't know about amber. Is there a huge variety of amber? Can you just give us an insight into what we can expect from amber?
Yes.
Because I think the only thing I've had experience is from that classic Jurassic Park where they find a piece of amber with that mosquito. And then the needle, they take the DNA from the mosquito, and that is what I associate amber. What is amber? Just give us an insight.
What is amber? The Jurassic Park, like Star Trek, they are nice tales.
Yeah,
just tales.
Yeah,
amber is fossilized resin of a tree, trees, and we can find many different kinds of amber all over the world.
Depending on the type of tree that the amber came from.
And the age and the geology conditions and so on and so on.
Okay.
So what we can find in the Baltic Sea and around in the countries, it's Baltic Amber. So it's a coniferous tree, a resin of coniferous tree from more than 40 million years ago.
Wow.
But you can find also in Mexico, in Dominican Republic, in Myanmar, in Indonesia, and so on and so on. Different ages, different times, like Myanmar amber, it's more than 100 million years old.
Wow.
So you can find piece of dinosaur in that.
Absolutely.
In Baltic amber, no, you cannot.
Oh, why?
But it's too young.
It's too young.
Dinosaurs were already dead. But you can find nice pieces of animals inside, small pieces.
Yeah.
Like spiders, like bugs, dragonflies, and so on and so on.
Is that more the attraction, is to have actual bugs inside a piece of amber, or is it, I don't know, what is the kind of market? And has the market changed over years, what people, want from amber?
Amber was very interesting for people because they can find some insects inside, and from ages we know about that.
Yeah.
And those animals, they are absolutely like living now. Like living now, it means you can even count how many eyes they have, how many hair on legs, and so on.
Yeah.
Comparing to dinosaur fossils, they are extremely high resolution.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, when you find a piece of rock or a fossil, it's generally, it's
just
either it's an imprint or it's.
In amber, you find all insects, all animals.
Yeah.
Of course, tiny animals, not dinosaurs.
No insects, yeah. Actually, that's a great
but you ask me,
question. Yeah.
What is interesting for people?
Yes, true.
For some collectors, fossils in amber. For another collectors, just the colors and size of pieces they can collect. And for others, like here in Qatar, in Gulf countries, they collect stones and they collect rosaries, which is very, very traditional for these countries.
Oh, okay. What's the biggest insect or animal that's been found in amber?
The biggest, I'm not sure, because sometimes
Oh, no.
we are talking about the tiniest, the smallest.
Yeah.
In our magazine right now, we have an article presenting 7 flies
7 flies within a piece of amber.
in a single fly,
Yeah.
fleas. That animals who bite dogs and cats.
Oh, fleas. Yeah,
Fleas.
yeah. Okay.
There were only 7 found in Baltic Amber. Only 7.
Yeah.
So they are tiny, like 1-2 millimeters, but they are extremely rare and extremely expensive.
Oh, wow.
So not the size.
Yeah.
Not the
So
size
size
matters.
doesn't matter. We've heard that before. Okay. And does it, depending on the age, depending on the tree, depending on the age, does it give different types of color? And depending on the tree as well. So are there different variants of... So if you saw a piece of amber, would you know what amber that was? Or is there a distinction between...
The most common color of amber is transparent yellow. And you can find it both in Dominican amber, in Mexican amber, in Baltic amber, in Myanmar.
Okay.
But not each deposit contains white amber or almost black amber.
Oh, really?
Like we can find it.
Is that rare, the black amber?
Very rare.
And is that... So that's more expensive?
It's like absolutely black, non-transparent.
Wow.
Like a coal, but it's amber, it's a resin.
Yeah.
So it's different deposits, different trees produce different resin. And after millions of years, we can find different colors. To say what exactly amber by color, it's not very easy when you have yellow colors. When you have white, we are quite sure it's rather Baltic.
Okay.
But we have some chemical contemporary methods to distinguish amber from each other, from fakes, from different resins.
Okay. Yeah. How can you tell? Because I was surprised when we spoke earlier that, there are fakes, but then, as you say, what isn't copied. So how can you tell whether, something's fake and what is genuine?
First fakes of amber, they were produced during the Roman Empire.
Oh, really?
So it's quite big tradition to make fakes. Doesn't matter in number, but in every industry. But people try to imitate valuable things.
Yeah.
Imitation, it's not fake. Imitation, it's similar.
Yeah.
If this imitation is presented or sold by a mistake or by somebody wanted to cheat you, this is fake.
Yeah.
It makes it fake.
Okay.
And people try to make it the cheap substances, the cheap stones. They try to make more valuable, so they use contemporary resins, natural resins, or just chemicals.
Okay, but you can test them.
Yes, in the laboratory we can distinguish which exactly synthetic substance it is.
How do you take a piece of the actual?
Definitely no, non-destructive methods.
No, I was going to say. So how do you?
Non-destructive methods only.
Okay.
So we have some spectrophotometry or other chemical analysis to say this is this substance and this is another one.
Okay, that's great. I see you brought in a few samples.
Yes.
Could you just, for anyone watching, they can see the types of amber you've got?
What we want to break is to break that amber. It's suitable for jewelry for old ladies. No, it's not. It's very nice for contemporary design, for modern designs.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to show that pieces which are modern, and they can be used by young ladies, by men, not only by old generations.
Oh, they can be used by men as well?
Yes, like cufflinks.
Oh, you got cufflinks, okay. Now, this is for anyone that's just listening to this, these bits of jewelry, they're kind of a yellow, cloudy. So what is that from? Is that a certain type of amber, or?
Most typical color it's yellow transparent,
Yeah.
as I said before.
But this is
But these clouds and this opaque colors, opaque effect comes from micro bubbles of gas, which was created during millions of years.
oh really?
And like we pour Coca-Cola into the glass, it's transparent.
So this happened millions of years ago, and as it was pouring, and there was gas,
There was some gas, there was some chemical
and
reactions.
then it causes.
And we can imagine right now we pour the Coca-Cola to the glass, and we see transparent in the bottom,
Yeah.
and foam over. And
the
foam,
top,
even
yeah.
it's Coca-Cola, it's dark. It's
You got the white.
So it's more or less like that.
But are people
But
surprised?
of course, bubbles are smaller.
Yeah. Are people surprised that when you say this is amber?
Yes, because most of people they imagine amber it's just transparent.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we have more than 100 names for colors of amber in Poland. Folk names, of course.
Yeah.
So it's like a snow. For some people it's white, but for people living in the north, for Eskimos people, there are hundreds of colors of snow.
Yeah. Very true. So can you just so this big piece of jewelry? So there's a huge. I would say that's about 2 or 3 inches.
Yes,
In diameter?
but it's absolutely light because
It is very-
amber. It's this is with gold, so it's a little bit heavier. But the density of amber it's 1 gram per cubic centimeter. So we can create big forms, and we can create more interesting forms than just tiny diamonds.
But when you find a piece of amber, how does it look? What because that's a beautiful sphere jewelry. How is it? Does it come in a kind of a stone shape, or how?
Most of stones they have its surface, natural surface, and before a specialist,
So there will be like a stone
they look like a stone
of amber.
The German name for amber is Bernstein. It means burning stone.
Okay.
So at the beginning it looks like a stone,
Yeah.
but it's light. You can burn it.
Oh, really?
Because it's organic gem. It can contain some animals. So that made people curious about amber.
Yeah.
But when you find it in the sea or in the mines, it looks like stones. Then, after polishing, then cutting, we can create such forms like this, or just polished with some inclusions like this.
Yeah. How do you decide? What something's going to be, because you've got some beautiful jewelry there. As a sphere, as a ring. What is that? That one there?
It's a brush.
Oh, a brooch, yeah. But then you got that big chunk of amber. So who decided, okay, look, I'm not going to make that as a piece of jewelry. I'm just going to make that as a...
Craftsmen and designers.
Oh, really?
If you want to have
But why
jewelry
would I
with
have-
insects,
Why would I have that one, though? What would someone have that on their table or as an ornament? Or
this is my piece to show that we can find nice inclusions in amber, but it's more for collectors.
Oh, okay. Collectors.
It's made of layers. So imagine a forest millions of years ago, and imagine a lava of resin outside of a tree, which was a trap for animals.
Yeah.
And this resin was sipping day by day. So it's made of layers.
Oh, okay.
So it's not as suitable for jewelry as pieces which were created inside the bark of a tree in special resin pockets.
Yeah.
But each piece of amber can be changed, can be turned to nice object.
By filing. Is that how?
By a specialist,
Cutting, filing.
by a designer,
Yeah.
by a craftsman.
Okay.
All together, they decide what to do out
So
of a single
they
stone.
don't melt it.
course
Could
they
you melt
don't.
this?
No, you cannot.
You cannot.
You cannot melt it. You can burn it.
Okay.
Because the burning point it's lower than melting point. You can do some modifications, like in most of gemstones all over the world,
Yeah.
to change some transparency, some color, but you cannot be a nature.
Fascinating. So you produce a magazine. How long has that magazine been going out for your members?
The magazine we published for almost 20 years, and we want to spread the knowledge about amber, to give some tips and tricks how to distinguish better quality from worse quality.
And have you seen the market grow?
The market is changing.
Yeah.
Like a few years ago, there was a really huge boom in China for amber, which is, what is surprising, one of the important gems in China, in Buddhism as well.
Yeah.
But right now the market is changing, and Gulf countries are more interested in amber, which is also historically based in this culture.
Really?
Yes, like collecting amber pieces, like praying beads.
Oh yes.
They are very traditional. Very traditional praying beads are made of amber.
And are there places that amber can be found in the Middle East?
Some tiny pieces from old times, yes. For example, in Lebanon, but in Gulf countries, as I know, no piece.
Okay, so why are you here?
I was invited by Polish embassy to celebrate the national holiday and present some Polish products.
Okay,
such high tech and nice Polish products.
Yeah, and what was the reaction? Was there a lot of interest?
There was a lot of interest. There was a lot of questions. Is it really amber? Because they think amber it's just beads or some traditional pieces.
Absolutely,
yes, we can create out of stones different things, like of metal, different things.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm curious about. What the reaction is from people. When I see that piece of jewelry, I wouldn't know that it is actually amber. When you see a piece of amber like you've got there, where it's yellow, see through, you can see the insects, then I can understand. Yes, that's proper amber. But I suppose you're trying to educate potential clients as well as.
Probably both of us, we will have some problems to distinguish diamonds, industrial diamonds.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have a clue either.
Or
but
some diamonds
absolutely.
From other cubic zirconias and so on.
My wife buys diamond rings, but half the time they're just, they're not real diamonds. They're just, what do they call it? It's more of a...
Created diamonds?
Yeah, it's just, I can't remember the word, but yeah. It's just jewelry. It's not the real.
Some people are interested in the jewelry and they don't care it's gold, silver,
just the way
what
it
kind
looks.
of stone,
yeah, absolutely,
the way it looks. Yeah. And some people they are interested to have some traditional, original pieces, good metal, good alloy, gold, silver, whatever they would like to find, or diamonds, rubies, sapphires, sometimes amber. So they decide.
Okay, so you came over here. You're showing off your amber. Is there any plans for the future to set up an amber store or amber testing, or what's the plan?
Amber is more and more popular in the Gulf countries.
Yeah.
In January, there was for the first time the exhibition of amber praying beads here in Qatar, in Qatar Cultural Village. We signed intention letter to create a laboratory here to let collectors avoid some fakes.
Oh, really?
Let them to estimate the value of pieces they have. So I hope to be here more often.
And will that draw more interest from like the designers to focus more on the Middle East in selling their products? Seeing that they have a genuine test place to make sure that it is genuine? Yes,
I hope so. But I also see that some Middle East designers, they are more and more interested in new materials. So it's quite difficult to create something new with tiny diamonds, but it's more easy to create something new with big pieces of amber, much bigger than diamonds or rubies, sapphires, doesn't matter. And nice.
Super.
So we will see. Maybe amber will have some new era in Gulf countries.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on the show. It's been very enlightening.
Thank you for the invitation.
No, it's been very good. And please come back on the show and give us an update on how things are going.
I will.
Yeah, and bring in some more pieces. I love Amber. I think I'm always curious. And going back to the Jurassic Park, is there that potential where they can get a DNA from a mosquito? Is it possible?
I will give you our magazine with the article about DNA in Amber, and you will decide.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very
on the
much.
show. Cheers. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch up with you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.